Hello, scholars, and welcome to reading. I'm going to read chapter 1 in Balto the Blue Dawn if you want to listen to me read. Here we go. Chapter 1 Gold Dust, Stardust. Jack was reading on the front porch when Annie peeked out the door. Bike ride later? She asked. Sure, said Jack. Let's go now before it gets too dark. Tell Mom and Dad. Annie slipped into the house to tell their parents. Jack closed his book about whales and sharks and stood up and stretched. He was tired from swimming at the lake all afternoon, but he felt good. He loved summer. A bike ride in the warm evening air seemed like the perfect way to end the day. Good to go, said Annie, coming out of the house with their bike helmets. Jack and Annie ran down the porch steps and climbed on their bikes. They put on their helmets and pedaled out to the street. As they rode up their block, they waved to a neighbor mowing her lawn and to a couple walking two poodles. We need a dog, Annie called back to Jack. What kind do you want? He said. Any kind. I like all dogs, said Annie. Big or small, said Jack. Well, both. I want a little dog and a big dog, she said. And maybe an in-between dog, too. Jack laughed. Yeah, I'd like a dog, he said, but probably just one. Whoa, said Annie, putting on her brakes. Did you see that? What? Said Jack, stopping beside her. Above the woods, a bright flashlight, she said. You're kidding, he said. Not kidding. I had a feeling even before we left the house, said Annie. Without another word, she bumped her bicycle over the sidewalk curb and headed into the Frog Creek woods. Jack followed, his bike bouncing over roots and twigs in the shadows beneath the trees. Growing darker by the second, the woods were filled with the sounds of crickets. Am I brilliant or what? Cried Annie. She had stopped next to the tallest oak. Brilliant, said Jack, laughing. The magic treehouse was perched high in the oak. Their friend Teddy was grinning at them from the window. It's about time, he called. I was getting ready to summon a crow or a rabbit to go get you. Jack and Annie leaned their bikes against the tree and hurried up the rope ladder. Inside the treehouse, Teddy greeted them with hugs. We must hurry, he said. You are needed right away. Where? When? Why? Said Annie. Where? A seaside town in a vast territory below the Arctic, said Teddy. When? February 1925. And why? Because Merlin and Morgan believe you can save lives there. Whoa, said Jack. Sounds serious, said Annie. And cold, said Jack. It is quite serious, and it will be quite cold, said Teddy. First, you'll need this. He handed Annie a small travel guide. It says the territory of Alaska. Alaska? Oh boy, I've always wanted to visit Alaska, she said. This guide was published in 1925, said Teddy. So it will be a different Alaska than Alaska today, said Jack. Precisely, said Teddy. And you'll need this. He reached into his cloak and took out a small gold box. He handed it to Jack. What's this for? Said Jack. He started to take off the lid. No, don't open it now, said Teddy. There is a thimble full of enchanted gold dust inside. It is from Morgan. You can use it only once. Use it for what? Asked Jack. In your time of need, you can use it to acquire a great skill that you both will share, said Teddy. Cool, said Annie. Like the time we used the magic mist of Avalon to give us the skill of great rock climbers. And the time we wished to be great magicians, said Jack. And great horse trainers, and great soccer players, said Annie. Yes, a bit like all those times, said Teddy. If you remember, on those missions, the magic lasted only for an hour. This time, the magic will last for 12 hours. Wow, that's a lot, said Annie. Yeah, said Jack, smiling. That's a really long time to be great at something. But there's another difference, said Teddy. Your skills on those past missions helped you solve your own problems. On this adventure, your great skill can only be used to save the lives of others. So what kind of danger will others in Alaska be facing? Asked Jack. Merlin and Morgan didn't tell me that part, said Teddy. I imagine they were quite sure you'd be able to figure it out when you arrived in the Alaskan territory. We'll try, said Jack. One more thing, said Teddy. Merlin wants those you help on this mission to be celebrated as heroes. He does not wish his magic to be part of their story. Okay, but how do we help without anyone knowing what we're helping? That we're helping. Teddy reached into his cloak and brought out a second tiny box. This one was made of shimmering dark blue stone. He handed it to Annie. She cradled the box in her hands. "It's so beautiful," she breathed. "Do not open it until you need what's inside," said Teddy. "It holds a bit of stardust, very rare and very precious." "Ooh, what's it for?" whispered Annie. "If you toss the stardust into the air and make a wish to be forgotten," said Teddy, "any memory or evidence of your visit will instantly be erased." "Oh," said Jack. "Okay. Put the magic away now," said Teddy. "You must be on your way." Jack hadn't brought his backpack, so he put the gold box in the pocket of his jeans. Annie did the same with the dark blue box. "Ready," they said together. Here it says, Teddy reached into his cloak and brought out a second tiny box. "Be safe, be well," said Teddy, "and do not freeze to death." "Gee, thanks," Jack said. "Good advice." Annie pointed at the cover of the travel guide. "I wish we could go to the Alaskan Territory," she said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. All right, scholars, join me tomorrow for Chapter 2. Happy reading!